Now to the impeachment inquiry into allegations of corruption involving President Biden and his family. The House of Representatives could formally authorize an impeachment investigation as early as this week, which would give GOP lawmakers increased authority to pursue legal action against Hunter Biden if he refuses to show up on Wednesday for a closed-door deposition. This comes as IRS whistleblowers have revealed that Joe Biden, when he was vice president, used fake names to exchange dozens of emails with one of Hunter's business associates. We're joined now by Representative Ron Estes, Republican of Kansas and a member of the House Ways and Means Committee. Congressman Estes, thank you so much for joining us here on Centerpoint.
Well, thank you. It's good to be here.
Congressman, it was the Ways and Means Committee that you belong to that revealed the existence of these emails when it was then Vice President Biden. What exactly were the contents, do you believe, that he was discussing with Hunter's partner?
Well, it's hard to tell from the information that we've gathered. This was just the first process or the first step in the process of going through the discovery. But one of the things that we've discovered over and over again is that these whistleblowers, I mean, one of them's a Democrat and one of them's a Republican. So it's not like there's a political axe to grind, is they're out looking for the truth. And they've said over and over again in the information that they brought is that this case was being handled separately and differently than any other unique case because of the political nature of it. And what we saw, this step that revealed all of these emails. I mean, thousands of emails that came from multiple aliases that Joe Biden used when he was vice president and after vice president. Some of them were to Hunter and his other family members, like you'd expect, but others were between Joe Biden himself and Hunter Biden's business associate, with nobody else attached to it. So obviously, we've seen over and over again, as the whistleblowers have brought this information out, that Joe Biden said that he knew nothing about Hunter Biden's business activities. Now we know that's a lie. Joe Biden said that Hunter Biden was never paid by China. We know that's a lie now. So as more and more of this evidence comes out, it's more and more apparent that not only was Joe Biden involved in the business, but there's all sorts of money that's flowing from foreign governments. Ultimately looks like into the hands of Joe Biden.
Well, Congressman, how do we get to the bottom of it? Because the White House, as you just mentioned, and Joe Biden, they keep denying it. So what's the end game?
Yeah, they really have been denying it, and that's kind of been the whole pattern in general is how to deflect this whole investigation. And all we really want's the truth. I mean, the whole aspect of well, the whistleblowers brought this information to us on the Ways and Means Committee. Our responsibility is to gather the information that came through from the IRS side. And now that we've gathered that, it's the responsibility of the House Oversight Committee and the House Judiciary Committee to focus on the actual investigation and to take this information further. And what's come out of their investigations has been revealed all of these shell companies that were created to pull money back and forth, identified all of these bank accounts that flowed money back and forth to multiple members in the Biden family, and showed in cases money flowing from China directly into one account, into another account, and ultimately then payments into Joe Biden. And so it's very imperative that the House Oversight and Judiciary Committees are allowed to do their investigation. And that's why we're looking at making it a formal impeachment inquiry process. It's not necessarily starting impeachment, but it's to continue the investigation and gather the facts to make sure that what's truthful comes out and that the American people know what really happened.
All right, so to be continued. Well, let's switch gears here, Congressman. The share of the national debt owed by each American citizen just passed the $100,000 mark. Are you and your fellow members of Congress working on something to get this under control?
It really is important. I mean, as you mentioned, that large debt owed by every man, woman, and child is a stain on where we can go in the country. And so one of the things that we're doing, I in addition to being on the Ways and Means Committee, I'm also on the Budget Committee. And one of the focuses that we're putting there is how do we change the spending curve? We've seen a rapid increase in spending. We've actually seen an increase in tax revenue coming in, but spending has far outpaced that. And in 2023, it's kind of a tipping point. We actually borrowed more money during the course of 2023 than we actually spent on all 12 of the discretionary spending bills. So more than we spent on defense, more than we spent on agriculture, more than we spent on health and human services. So we've actually got to get this under control and headed in the right direction. Because at the rate we're going, we're borrowing money at $90,000 a second. So we've got to focus on that. That's one of the things that Speaker Johnson's talking about is how do we do things differently? How do we focus on getting the regular appropriations bills done so that we can have a top line number that we work towards and stay committed to doing that?
Congressman Estes, we appreciate you joining us, giving us an update here on Centerpoint.
All right, great. Thank you.